High school football coming back in just 16 days on September 18th. Let's run through the different sections here and kind of talk about it, pick some favorites, have some fun. So as we bring the guys back in here, let's launch in with Section 1. And the defending champs there, Manheim Township, went 6-0 last year, 11-1 overall, lost in the playoffs. Wilson was behind them at 5-1 and Warwick at 4-2. Warwick no longer in Section 1. So Bruce, who is kind of the favorite in Section 1 this year as we kind of have a new look at the makeup of it?
I kind of like Wilson. You know, they have they're bringing back a lot of pieces to that team that last year, and you know they have the Caleb Brown, who had probably more than 2,100 yards of offense with 23 touchdowns. They have Mason Leonard, Troy Corson, and Jaden Jones, just to name a couple. And I remember, when Warwick played Wilson last year, they were a handful. That group was a handful. And Township's got its program to a point where, yes, they lost a lot of starters last year, but their program is to a point where they're still going to be competitive. And going 11-1, they were able to allow their backups into games last year and get them some of that varsity playing time. They have Anthony Ivy, who of course is getting several Division I looks, several Division I offers. So they're going to be competitive, but I've got to give the edge to Wilson.
Yeah, Tim, it does seem like Manheim Township lost a ton of seniors from that impressive team last year. How do you see Section 1 turning out?
Yeah, I have to agree with Bruce a little bit here. Wilson is, I don't know if they're the clear favorite, but they're the favorite just because they have their quarterback back and a good running back. Don't forget, they've got Jack Wagner, who's a great kicker, and he's going to be playing probably D1 somewhere. And, Dom's up there with that great coaching staff. Don't underestimate them. But I tell you what, I've got a dark horse for you a little bit. Looking at Cedar Crest, they got a great quarterback coming back in the name of Chris Dans. They've got they got to tweak the offensive line, but they've got Aiden Richards, a junior running back who set all kind of records up at Cedar Crest last year. And don't count out the Penn Manor Comets. They've got a quarterback back. They also have 3 running backs back, and I think finally after 6 years, former Manheim Central assistant coach John Brubaker, is really starting to build a nice program there. Manheim Township, as we talked about earlier, losing 20 of the 22 starters, although a lot of those kids, as Bruce just said, got a lot of time to play last year. I don't see them. I think maybe at least Manheim Township is going to be losing at least 2 or 3 games, but give this into the Wilson Bulldogs, I believe.
Okay, so Wilson potentially back to the top there where they were for so many years, winning Section 1 title after Section 1 title. We shall see, and officially I don't believe we will be covering Section 1 here on Blue Ridge for at least the next 2 years, because Warwick bumping down to Section 2, and that's going to make Section 2 really fun for us here on Blue Ridge 11. We've got a really nice 7-game schedule, and a lot of the meat in there are Section 2 teams. So that includes Warwick, Conestoga Valley, Elizabethtown, Manheim Central, Solanco, Cocalico. Remember, Manheim Central is actually the defending Section 2 champs. They were 6-0. Cocalico went on to win the District 3 5A title, and then you throw Warwick in there, who was in the semifinal round against Cocalico and lost, beat Manheim Central in the playoffs. So this is a really fun section to kind of see how it's all going to play out. Tim, do you have a favorite in here? I know usually Cocalico and Manheim Central rule the roost, but with a team like Warwick coming in, boy, they really are going to be able to come in and make some noise here in Section 2.
I believe Warwick is the clear favorite with one caveat, Joey McCracken's knee. I mean, there's one thing that I think we have to look at. He's got to be the Joey McCracken of last year. Caleb Schmitz is back. Of course, Colton Miller with 30 touchdowns. Bruce just did everything. When I look at all the other teams, yes, they're good. Yes, they're well coached. Cocalico, I think, probably is the second best team. Of course, they're losing a lot on the offense and that great quarterback in Noah Palm, but I tell you what, they've got Flinton, Lipsy, and Bang back, and that was a young defense. Remember last year, a lot of freshmen and sophomore plays. they're going to be good, although they have a new coach. But I look at the Warwick Warriors, Bruce, as really, this could be their year. It's going to be fun. At the end of the year, I think they play Central and Cocalico. I think the last 2 games, if memory serves me. The Slanko Bulldogs or the Slanko Gold Mules, going to be good as well. They run the football. And Manheim Central, of course, they've got to replace 20 starters, Bruce. They've got a new quarterback. Although we all know about them, they are well coached. So I'm sure they'll be ready to go. But right out of the chute, I got to go with the Warwick Warriors as really, to me, clear favorite to win Section 2.
All right, so a new home for Warwick here, Bruce, in a very long time, and all of a sudden they kind of seem to be coming in as the front runners. How do you feel about that? You've covered this program for quite some time. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I think with all the pieces that Warwick has back, you'd have to look at them as the favorites right now. But you know, Central's won the last 5 section titles, either shared or outright. So they're not going to let that go easily. And I know they lost a lot of guys from last year. Judd Novak is in the mix to be to take over for Evan Simon. And Judd plays basketball. You know, he's a leader. He's athletic. They've got Owen Pappas back, a lineman, a couple kickers. Cocalico's, like Tim said, has a couple guys in there with the first year coach Stroll. So there's going to be, it's not going to be easy for Warwick, but I think with the guys they have, like Nolan Rucci back on the line, anchoring the line, Caleb Schmitz, Colton Miller and Thatcher Miller, the brothers at running back and tight end. Again, just kind of following Tim, Jacob McCracken's knee and how soon he gets back into under center for Warwick is going to be big for them. But I think Warwick has to be considered the favorites in that section.
Yeah, I mean, Manheim Central and Cocalico replacing all-time players there for their program. So obviously that's a tough ask, but both of those programs have proven they can find the players to step in. We'll see how it all goes. I believe we have Manheim Central Cocalico on the channel September 25th. So we'll certainly get a look at both of those 2 programs in that amazing rivalry there pretty early on. All right, let's shift to Section 3. And so Section 3 is interesting because Lampeter Strasburg moves from Section 2 down to Section 3. That's where Ephrata belongs. That's where Donegal, Lebanon, Garden Spot, Lancaster Catholic. I mean, this thing could be a lot of fun to watch in Section 3. A bunch of teams that could really duke it out there for that title. The defending Section 3 champ right now is Lancaster Catholic, who went 8-1 last year, 10-2 overall. But remember, LS won the 4A District 3 championship, and they pretty much return a good chunk of that team. So very interesting here, guys. How do we handicap Section 3? Obviously, Ephrata is in there trying to make some noise. LS, Lancaster Catholic, and on and on and on. Tim, how do you kind of see this one shaking out?
Chad, this is going to be a fun section.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it is wide open. I can make an argument, and I was the last couple of days, for any one of these teams to win the section. First of all, you've got some great quarterbacks. Garden Spot, you've got Jesse Martin is back. They've got 13 starters back. Of course, Lampeter Strasburg back from that district title game. Their quarterback got hurt early on last year. He was a junior, Sean McTaggart. He's back now under center. Connor Nolt, who we saw had a great season, he's going to be back at wide receiver as well. Lebanon, Isaiah Rodriguez, I mean, in that complete red gun offense, he had over 2,000 throwing yards last year, so that's going to be fun. Donegal's got most everybody back. They run that wing T offense. Lancaster Catholic, only 7 starters back, but they traditionally are well coached. They have a new coach as well, but they are a good team. And the Ephrata Mountaineers, guys, here's sort of the wild card in it. They had a taste of what winning was last year, Bruce. The first time they have won in a very long time. They have 18 returning starters, although they're losing the big horse, their quarterback.
Yeah, Kiefer.
But the new quarterback, they've got Rado back, they've got London back, and they've got everything running back. Andre Weidman. I really am really hesitant to take a pick and see who's going to be the number one team. I guess if push comes to shove, I would look at LS probably just by their history and their coaching and their depth. I look at Ephrata as being a close second, along with, believe it or not, the Donegal Indians. Guys?
All right, love that. All right, Bruce, jump in there. What do you think about Section 3? Could be a lot of fun. You know, we're going to see a couple of those games on the channel here, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I think, Eric, Tim mentioned Ephrata there, and the one name that he mentioned that really stood out for me when I saw him play last year was Andre Weidman. He's just a tough kid, right in the middle of a lot of the action for Ephrata. And of course, they have Miracle Rado there. They've got a bunch of kids back, but I see LS as the team to beat in that section. Coming off that run to the district for a championship, they're getting McTaggart back. I know a lot was expected of him last year before he got hurt, and I think he's going to come back, ready to go. And he's got some weapons there like Alex Knapp and Austin Stolzfus and Bo Heiser. So. And a couple good linemen up front. So I see Lampeter Strasburg as a team to beat in that section, but I think Ephrata is going to be right there, and Lancaster Catholic, with their history of winning, I think they're you can't count them out either.
All right, so far, just for the viewers at home, you guys have agreed on every single section winner here. I just want to point that out. But yeah, Section 3 could be a lot of fun.
It might think alike, Bruce.
Yeah, we'll follow along. We'll kind of update some people. We'll see how it goes. Real quickly, let's just get to Section 4. I just want to kind of hear maybe who you think might win that. We don't have to spend a lot of time there, but now that's where Octorara, Elko, Northern Lebanon, Anvil, Cleona, Pequea Valley, and Columbia are. So a lot of small teams, but plenty of opportunity here. Bruce, who do you think is kind of the favorite there real quick?
I'm with Elko. They've got Braden Bohannon back. He was Mr. Everything for the Raiders last year with 2,000 yards of offense, 55 tackles, 3 interceptions at his safety spot. So he does a lot, and I see Elko being the team to beat in that section.
Okay. Dare I ask, Tim, agree, disagree?
Elko. I'm getting Elko. when you look at all the squads there, the quarterback is really the key for Section 4, and I believe Elko is going to do it. Probably followed close second, maybe by Octorara. Northern Lebanon's losing a lot of skill position people. The problem with Columbia, though, is they've got 11 starters back, but they probably only field about 25 players. So when you've got everybody playing both ways, they can get tired. But
yeah,
Elko.
They lost their quarterback, too. I saw Columbia's quarterback, McCleary, last year. Really, really good athlete.
Really good.
Yeah, He is gone as well. All right. There you go. That's our football preview. Wanted to kind of get you salivating for high school football. Here's something that's going to get everybody a little more excited for it, because coming up in a couple weeks right here on Sports Talk, we're going to do our annual coaches show. And normally we parade the coaches in here one by one. We talk to them about the season, and we fire away with all of our questions. Well, in a COVID-19 world, we are going to socially distance it on Zoom this year, but still, all 6 coaches scheduled to come to the program September 16th, starting at 7 o'clock. So join us for that Sports Talk in 2 Wednesdays from now.